how concerned are you with the depth of your safeties group with the two injuries?
No, I don't know. Anytime there's injuries, it's next guy up mentality for us. It's always been that way. Injuries occur at every team across the country. How you handle them was going to be the key to success.
At this point with Talon, do you expect it to be a couple of weeks, or how long do you feel like the time will be without?
We don't know for sure. I'm not a doctor. It's not going to be immediate, but it's not going to be season-ending either.
You noted yesterday that could be safety by committee. What does that maybe look like? Are you envisioning playing maybe 3, 4? I mean, how many guys are you thinking?
Well, I think we have the ability throughout. We still have another week at camp for guys to continue to step up. We got these first couple games where depth charts don't necessarily have to be solidified at any point. And when guys get in there, it's going to be their responsibility and opportunity to step up and prove that they deserve to be the full-time starter for the rest of the year. And if they're not accomplishing that, then maybe we have to look at, the third or fourth guy and see who during the games really steps up and plays great.
Any consideration to bring someone like Heckert, who you've obviously coached a lot, to that safety spot?
Well, we could do that for sure. We got a bunch of corners right now playing at a high level. I like those guys, but I also like the safety group, and there's a lot of guys in there that I trust right now that will step up and do a good job in the absence of, some of the guys that went down. And really, that's what you need to have a great team, is you got to have guys step up in these situations.
Ethan Slater's atop the depth chart. What set him apart to have you put him there?
Well, Ethan's proven to me that he's a playmaker. He has done that spring ball and then in fall camp again. I know even prior to me coming in, he was a guy that people liked on the defensive side of the ball, and Coach Kalani really liked him. So he's proven his worth to the program here and has done nothing but impress me since I've been here.
Didn't see Ice Mo on the depth chart this week. Is there any update on him? Is it similar to Talon where it's injury related, or?
Oh, you're going to see ISO playing this year, and he's coming along well. I think his progression's good, and I think he's going to be a great player in this program.
Jay, you may have addressed this before I stepped in, so I apologize if it's a repeat question. But, there's kind of a mentality going into a game against a Sam Houston that's making this transition that, this is a game BYU should win. You've played teams, you've played games like this. What's the mentality you have to make sure the guys have, to avoid that kind of, approach?
Well, I've been on the flip side of that, right? Coaching in the FCS level and feeling like you have a great team that can go in and compete against the FBS schools. And our mentality has to be, it doesn't matter who we play, what the name on the front of the shirt really doesn't matter, because we got to be ready to go each and every week. And if we play great, we'll love the results, no matter who we play. But that's going to be our constant goal, is to go in there and play great. It's a nameless, faceless opponent, and you just go in there and execute and make it all about how we play.
I still imagine you've got to be ready for their best shot.
Oh, they're going to give us their best shot. And this is a talented team now. Before last year, they had won 22 straight games and a national championship, and what they say is the best season in the history of college football. So the reality is this is a very talented team coming in here. This is a team that knows how to win, and we got to be ready for their best shot, which we will be. And if we go out and play great, we'll like the results.
What's the biggest unknown about this Sam Houston team?
Well, defensively speaking, they have a new offense coordinator that coordinated last at Virginia Tech in 2021. They have an offensive-minded head coach who has had very good offenses in the past. So are they going to do more what the offensive coordinator did when he was at Vautech? Or are they going to do more what the head coach liked to do in years past? How does that fit with the offensive personnel that they have? They redshirted a lot of guys last year, a lot of their key guys that they wanted to hold over for this season. So I don't know that the film from Sam Houston or for Virginia Tech is just an exact thing of what we're going to see on Saturday, so we got to be ready for it all.
Do you know much of Coach Keeler at all?
You know what? We never played against each other, but I have extreme respect for him and his programs and how they played. And every year when we were in FCS football battling against each other for playoff spots and stuff like that, I just know his teams were very good, very competitive always.
How big of a change is maybe your workflow going from being a head coach in a game week to now a defense coordinator? Are you sizing up more, breaking down more film? What's kind of that?
Yeah, it's just completely different on where my focus is. Right now it's all about defense, watching enough film on the opposing offenses, where when I was a head coach, it was everything. I was watching offense, defense, special teams. I was never getting quite in depth like the coordinators did. But it was like you had your hand in everything, and then all the while you had to run the entire program with, NIL and boosters and discipline and everything else going on. I don't have to worry about that per se, but yeah, it's just a different workload. It's same hours and same grind, but just different things I'm doing.
Are you enjoying the change then?
Absolutely. That's one thing you miss a lot of times, the head coach. You miss being in the weeds with the players. You miss the game planning. You miss the scheming and getting out in practice and calling things against the offense. I mean, that's part of the reason why we love what we do and a lot of times the head coach, you don't always get to do that.
How much percentage-wise are you spending on looking at Virginia Tech or Sam Houston? Do you kind of have like a rough estimation of how much time you're spending on both of those?
We've spent a great amount of time on both. We're looking closely at Sam Houston for personnel and some things that maybe Coach Keeler liked to do in the last couple of years, and then we're spending a lot of time on what they did at Virginia Tech over the 2019-2021 season, just making sure we don't miss anything. We've looked at a lot of stuff, and we try to incorporate how they're going to try to attack us based on everything we've seen over the last couple of years.
How big of a resource is Kelly Papinga in that respect because he coached against him?
Exactly. Coach Papinga's been phenomenal, not just against Sam Houston because he went against this offensive scheme, but just everything he brings to the table. He's very intelligent. He does a great job with his players, and his knowledge of Virginia Tech when he was at Virginia has helped for sure, and we're lucky to have him here at BYU.
How excited are you to get back to coaching in games with 60,000+ fans? I mean, FCS has some big stages, but it's a little bit bigger here.
That's one of the things I did miss the very most was just the pageantry of some of the big time games and the big time stadiums, and to be back in LaVell Edwards Stadium on the other side of the ball and have the fans all cheering for you, I'm super excited about. I know it's going to be electric, and I have missed those big time atmospheres that we'll see each week this year.
Last question. Have you seen any other program kind of take the same redshirt approach that they have, and what's your thoughts on that?
No, I haven't really seen that. And a lot of teams never, experience what they're experiencing going from FCS to FBS, and I've not necessarily seen it. Obviously, Coach Keeler knows best for his program and what he wanted to accomplish, and the players that he had last year that he felt he could get one more year out of. So, like I say, we're going to get their best shot. We got to be ready for everything that they throw at us. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jay.